I didn't get to see all the movies I wanted to this year, but I managed to pack in Wonder Woman, Thor Ragnarok, what else? Logan, Star Wars, of course. But for me, not only was Blade Runner 2049 a better picture than all of those by a long shot, it was also, I think, the contender for the best genre sequel ever made. And yes, that includes Aliens and The Empire Strikes Back. This was a real cinematic experience for me. And I'll tell you what made the difference. It's that those other movies, as I find increasingly with the superhero type film, of which I guess Star Wars is kind of there's some overlap with Star Wars there. They tend not to be very memorable. There were enjoyable instances, definitely enjoyable instances in Thor Ragnarok and in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. But honestly, the next day, I'd forgotten that I saw those movies until my memory was jogged by some toy rut. But still now, even though I saw it back in, when did it come out? October. Blade Runner is swimming around my head, still being processed and analyzed. It was really an extraordinary cinematic experience. Now, that's not to say it's a perfect movie. It's got flaws. But those problems were so easily swamped out by the general excellence of the picture that I have to hand it to it. You know, Denis Villeneuve has delivered something really quite special and above and beyond the call of a movie that was really probably just made in order to retain the property. It's extraordinary. And at some point I'd like to go into more detail about how Blade Runner 2049 affected me, and a breakdown of the imagery in that movie. But for the time being, I'm just going to say that I'm still thinking about it. I can't wait to see it again. And unlike so many films that I've seen in recent times, I feel like the first viewing of Blade Runner 2049 was just the beginning of a relationship with this film that will go on for quite some time. Indelible memories. That's what it's become about for me. Okay, so what did I miss this year that I wanted to catch? Well, I really quite fancied the Lego Batman movie. If any of you have seen it and got views about that, let me know, because I just absolutely adored the Lego movie, and this looked like it probably wasn't of the same substance, but similarly likable. And I do like that take on Batman. I like it a lot. So it's a shame I missed that, but hopefully I'll catch it soon. I didn't get to see Mindhorn, which was not difficult not to get to see Mindhorn because it didn't have a massive release, but big fan of Julian Barrett, and from the trailer the pitch looked good, so I'd like to catch that one and maybe give some thoughts on it. Pixar's Coco I thought was going to be out in the autumn here. It's been out in the States and in Canada for a while, and I thought it would be the same here, but no, we've got to wait until February for that one, so strike. Okay, so what's coming out in 2018 that's making me twang? Let's just refer to Google a second. Okay, well, Annihilation, which is from the same team that made Ex Machina, which is another film to put on the list of top 10 movies I've never seen. But the trailer looks good. It looks intriguing and mysterious and a little bit disturbing, and that I don't know. I'm definitely receptive to that. Depends on the marketing lead up, I guess. See what happens. Ready Player One, Spielberg's Ready Player One. I'm desperately piqued about this. I haven't read the novel, I haven't read the source material, but from what I've read of the concept, the idea of a story that takes place in this singularity of postmodern cultural references is just, I think, is really high concept. I think it's really high concept. It's got enormous legs for me, and if they do with it what I think they're going to do with it, I think it's going to be terrific. I mean, and certainly, even at his age, and even though I've criticized him many times, you can't really put a blockbuster in safer hands than those of Steven Spielberg. So I'm more or less rooting for that. Pacific Rim Uprising, I don't know. I like the first one, but I think maybe I was just in the mood for it. I still can't tell if it's a good movie or not. It seemed to have a level of heart, but very little substance, which often is the case with Guillermo del Toro. I don't know. You know, as much as I admire him, I don't know. We'll see. Avengers Affinity War. Affinity War? Sorry, Avengers Infinity War. Part 1. I think. Yep, Part 1. Who knows? It trails well. If they really have reserved some of their big guns dramatically for this movie, maybe it'll be quite stunning. I don't know. Or it could be the straw that breaks the camel's back in terms of super action fatigue. You know, to be honest, I feel like I've already reached that stage with Ragnarok and Wonder Woman. So we'll see. You know, I mean, I'll turn up, but I'm not massively optimistic. Jurassic Park. No, Jurassic World. That's what we're calling it now. Jurassic World. Fallen Kingdom, is that the one? Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Well, I didn't like Jurassic World, but this sequel has got a thing going for it, in that the island blows up and they have to save dinosaurs, which frankly I think they really should spend more time doing, because dinosaurs are great, and don't just, you know, build plots around having to shoot them or blow them up or getting another dinosaur to eat another dinosaur. Save the dinosaurs, you know, and big falling fiery rocks. I mean, if it's a whole movie of that, I think that may be worth, you know, $12.50 or whatever it costs these days to go to the cinema. Han Solo, a Star Wars story. Well, God, all bets are off on this one. They really are. If someone handed to me the pitch for a Han Solo spin-off movie, I wouldn't know what to do with it. And I think I'm pretty tight with Star Wars, you know, so I don't know. I don't know how they're going to make it work. I really don't have a lot of confidence in it. I liked Rogue One, and I liked The Last Jedi. I liked them both a lot. But this one, I don't know. It's that I'm approaching with some caution. But then again, I said that about Rogue One. I had strong reservations about that. But it turned out I really enjoyed it a lot. So who knows? Who knows? It'll be, I mean, after the huge negative response from the punters that The Last Jedi has got, you know, it's hard to see how they're going to make this a big release, how they're going to give this a big weekend. And even if they do, you know, a lot so much is going to depend on the word of mouth of this movie. It's incredible. At this stage, I wouldn't even be surprised if they postpone release. I really wouldn't. So we have, as well as Avengers Infinity War, there's 2 more Marvel releases coming up this year. There was Black Panther, which I will turn up for. Again, don't really know what to make of it. The trailer looks very plastic, despite the great production design and everything. And I've got a feeling it's going to suffer from the same thing that Spider-Man suffered from, which was an embarrassingly digitized main character. You've got real problems when the Spider-Man in your movie doesn't look as good or as well integrated as the digital Spider-Man that we had 15 years ago. That's you've got real problems there. And the digital Black Panther looks, again, it's not quite weighty. It's a little bit, it's a little bit workman-like. So I don't know, but I'll give it a crack. Because hey, Black Panther's cool. We've also got apparently this year Ant-Man and Wasp. I don't know. Again, could go anywhere. Jesus, I'll probably have killed myself by then. And from DC, we've got Aquaman, which will probably end up having to just fuck off because it's going to be shit. All right. Well, those are my sort of predictions and points of focus for next year. Have I got my finger on the pulse or my thumb in the air? We'll see. Comment, as always, is invited. Thank you very much for indulging me, and I'll catch up with you soon. Cheers.